first one is about Franz Wagner, Pish. There he is on the shirt right behind me. Thank you, Pish. You got that signed for me. We're going to talk about a signed Franz Wagner jersey a little bit later in the show.
Oh, good. You know about that. All right.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
all right, it's coming up. It's ready. But this one right here, I'll get it started with this. I guess our prompt is, Pish, to you, Franz Wagner is an Eastern Conference All-Star this year. This first slide we have is from Alex Kennedy, NBA. Players age 22 or younger who have totaled 4,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 700 assists in the first 3 NBA seasons. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Edwards, Chris Paul, Franz Wagner. Okay. He was recently named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week along with De'Aaron Fox. I had that up here. Here it is. He was averaging this past week when we were 3-0, 30.7 points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game, 5.7 assists. Pish, how are you feeling on this? Are you go all the way? Franz Wagner is an all-star? What are you thinking?
Not only is the light green, we have a police escort making sure that this car gets through to where it needs to go. There's gentlemen on the side with the orange things kind of going like this. A couple cars in front, couple cars in back. You're not even sure which car he's in, as a matter of fact, but they're all getting through and to the arena on time. I mean, unless Paulo comes back and puts up ridiculous 50 burgers again before the All-Star game, and they decide they only can pick one Orlando Magic player, I think it's got to be Franz. He's coming through. It's a green. It should be. I'm not even that shocked about it. But I'll tell you this, which I am very curious about, is I know that there's a particular person. I know there's a few people in the Magic community, but I know there's one person in particular who seemed to kind of doubt or be worried about Franz Wagner and whether he was going to be able to produce and whether the contract was actually worth it. And now I have to ask that person, what say ye?
The pointing. Now I know why you practice the pointing, you bastard.
I have to know what direction to point.
Okay. All right. No, this is a come to Jesus moment for me, and I don't have any problem eating my crow, Pish. Because I stand by my comments, okay? I was worried about Franz Wagner. At the end of last season, you saw with your 2 eyes, too, your beautiful baby blues, and all you second cousins out there, you saw as well. You saw Franz Wagner passing up open three-point shots. It looked like Markelle Fultz 2.0 at the end of last season. And don't tell me that he didn't. I saw it. You saw it. That is room for alarm. And there was more room for alarm when it continued into the World Cup. No, that's not what it's called. The Olympics. And he continued to kind of shoot miserably. So I think I was justified in being a little trepidatious about the max extension. But holy shit. I've never been happier that I've been wrong. And Pish, we're taking a monster truck to this bitch. And we are going all the way green to Franz Wagner being an all-star. I mean, Eastern Conference Player of the Year. I think in these last 7 games, man, it really seems like to me that the game has slowed down another level for Franz Wagner. It's super impressive. In the last 7, he's averaging 28.9, 6.3 boards, 6.3 assists, shooting 46.5% from the field, 35.8% from 3. I mean, this man has been straight up cold, dude. The ice in this man's veins. He's been crossing guys over, getting to the paint at will. He's finishing much better at the basket than in the beginning of the year. He's working the step back 3 now. Like, it went from almost zero confidence, it seemed, to now he's crossing guys up. He's stepping into threes off the dribble. It's just, it really seems like it's slowed down. He's excelled in this role of I'm the main guy. I'm the main facilitator. I have some more stats on that playmaking from Banchero here. This is playmaking stats from Basketball Index. The playmaking talent, according to Basketball Index, is in the top 2% in the NBA. His pass creation, top 7%. Pass creation quality, top 3%. He is just, his on-ball gravity, top 2%. What are you laughing at? You're laughing at these
He's
numbers?
in the top 2 of OnlyFans creators. That's the only time I ever hear that like phrasing is in the top whatever. It's like every single person on OnlyFans is like, I'm in the top 7% of creators. It's like you can't all be in the top 7. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's kind of like that stat that we throw out at the beginning where it's, these stats where it's like first guy with 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, and a bunny named Fluffy. There's only 2 guys that have ever done it. But it matters here. Like another one, Franz, 10th player in NBA history to have a game with 30 points, 10 boards, 5 assists, and 5 3-pointers made while not turning the ball over once. And for the crazy usage that he's had as of late, that is extremely impressive because turnovers have been an Achilles heel. And I was getting on Franz when he was coming off his sickness. I didn't know he's on the court, so I'm assuming he's good. He clearly wasn't well. I think he was just getting over it as he was going through, in Dallas. I don't even think he was 100% Pich when we were there. You really started to see it change as that next game. He looked a little bit better, and then after that Oklahoma City game, it was all gears go. And he has stepped into the role of the leader, the offensive leader and facilitator of this team with Paulo Banchero out. I'm beyond pleased that I was so horribly wrong on the contract extension. Not only is Franz stepping into a max player and that person's abilities, he might get the super max. If he keeps playing like this, it'll be tough when Paulo gets back to get those kind of all NBA nods, but that is the thing that can put a rookie contract into a super max rookie, as they would call it, or the max rookie, the fun max, is if you get an all-NBA nod. Then it becomes from 25% to the 30% of the max, which I guess is a great problem to have. It would be interesting to see how that all works out moving forward, but that's not what we're here for right now, Pich.
I mean, his numbers are up. Yeah, his numbers are up because Paulo's not there, and he knows he needs to be the facilitator and the scorer. And I think he's exceeded the possibilities that I even thought he could have while Paulo was out, which is just glamorous. I mean, I was giving you shit for the sake of argument. I think we all, after the 3 games I watched while you were in town, I was just like, forget it. This sucks. I'm not going to watch this shit anymore. Like, this is terrible. It took Franz deciding to become this guy to really turn things around. And luckily the rest of the NBA doesn't have their shit together. We'll talk about that later. But like Franz stepping up like this is, wow. I'm very impressed by it because I wouldn't have expected it to be at this kind of level where like you're Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Like that's what? Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what it's going to take while Paulo's out. But that's why people need to know who this man is. He's not getting that same respect around the league. So now he's kind of getting it with Paulo out. And so when we're talking about him as an all-star, this would be a great way for people to start knowing that it's not Franz Wagner. So let's do it. Make it happen.
Absolutely. And you gave me shit jokingly, of course, about, that trepidation I had around the 3-point shot. But, man, that's taking a 180. Like 36%. You now have to respect that if you're the opposing defense. Mm-hmm. And if you have to now step out on Franz as a 6'10 guy who can cross you over, that is dangerous, man. If you got to guard him all the way out there, now he's a 3-level scorer, and it just opens up his playmaking, his dribbling, his getting into the paint. We saw the Dirk fadeaway coming back. All these things that had kind of been missing last year are now coming back, and they're going to a new level.
He just looks confident. He looks confident, right? Yep. Like he's confident in what he's doing. If he can get to the lane a few times and he gets the first few bounces to go in, during that losing streak, he was missing some bunnies. And then it's like, it just takes him out of any kind of rhythm. He's not going to do the step backs and the crossovers and all that stuff. So it's easy to see. He gets some easy hoops. And then it like kind of, he's like, oh, let me start trying some fadeaways. Let me cross a guy up. Let me do some step backs. And then you could just see that confidence growing in him. So him getting this player of the week nod is, I think, going to be really big for him going forward because he seems like he's a very like flow and confidence player. Like that's what runs him and his core. So keep it moving, my man.
Green lights all the way, baby, for Franz Wagner to the All-Star game. Let us know in the comments if you're feeling this good or if you felt any different way. But it should be Franz Wagner All-Star game. Let's go, baby. And he's not,
sounds like a lot. That sound we have sounds a lot like the Pacers sound when they're like racing up the court. But as we know, they've had to hit the brakes a couple times thanks to the Orlando Magic. Take that, Tyrese Halliburton.
Yes.
We'll see you at WrestleMania, dude. Did you like that clip? Well, it's part of a larger podcast that we do that you can see by going to our page, and go ahead and subscribe while you're there.